All right, I'm gonna try and get through the rest of this real quick. And yet, because it replenishes itself, touching. It's ancient because it has always existed, yet new because it always replenishes itself. I mean, if the Hindus knew about it, I mean, obviously it's been around before I was born, because there's other Melchizedeks before me and other avatars of God. So that seems logical. That's always been around. I don't think it has to replenish itself, but maybe it does, because it seems limitless, and it feels like I'm only tapping into it like Gojo does, like Gojo on Juju Kaisen, with these ultimate powers and stuff. Like Gojo has limitless power, but he's like tapping into the limitless power. I think that's probably what I'm doing as well, but it feels more like I'm making it happen though. Like, for example, when you lift your arm, do you feel like it was given to you? No, you feel like you lifted your arm, right? I had to put effort into this shit, like, and I feel like it cost me. It doesn't feel free at all. It feels like every piece of it comes from my heart. And that's why they tried to kill us with that COVID thing. The COVID thing was meant to stifle my power, because they knew I've had internal bleeding in my heart before, so they tried to finish me off like that. Because by making a virus that creates myocarditis and stuff. It's not even a virus, it's just the vaccines that cause the myocarditis. It's literally these razor blades and shit in there. Just rip the person apart. Like, imagine you're always like running. Like, that's why all the athletes started falling dead. You know? Imagine you got even more power than they do flowing through your heart like I do, constantly. Like, even when I'm sleeping. That's why they did that. It was to try and get me to slow down or die, basically. And I did neither. Didn't give a flying fuck. I just endured that pain like a beast like I am. Untouched by mankind, replenish yourself. The power of this eye can be used to eliminate every poverty, sickness, death, destruction possible. Moreover, capable. I guess I'd already read this part. But although symbolically, capable of using the power. Although symbolically known on Earth, the location of the eye is completely unknown. I totally know where it's at. It's literally in the brain, just like the Matrix is. The story now evolves around the first hybrid child. I don't think I'm a hybrid unless my dad's something weird like I think he is, who is to be born on the earth. I'm pretty sure there's been a lot of hybrids before me. Thank you very much. But I mean, she could be. It's different. Like, for example, the hybrids that were before me are from the devil. From the devil and his fallen angels mixed it into people. She's right, because I am the first hybrid of God and a man. You know, God and mankind. You know, like a God and a woman. You know, it's just like Jesus, basically. Like, but at the same time, I'm not Jesus. Jesus is that real hybrid. It's really talking about him, but it's me at the same time. So it's like interconnected. The story now evolves the first hybrid child who is born on Earth and who is to be leader of the Galactic Rebellion. Yep, that's why in that book, the second Ezra, like I said, that it says those of heaven are made strong by him. And the only way they were able to win the war in heaven was because of me. You know, once I come up, otherwise there wouldn't be no angels left over, because, you know, I'm pretty sure it has to do with the way the enemy turns their own energy against them. So, like, it would have just been a problem, because they would have been powerful, but he would have turned it against them. I've been dealing with that. It's been my ultimate issue. That's why, for example, when Saitama was fighting Garo, what did Garo do? He just kept copying Saitama. He just kept copying him. But you can't be as strong as the original, you know? Especially when you're not the source, you know, like, you're always going to be a step behind. You know what I mean? And so he was able to overcome Garo because of that, but it fucked everybody else up because they're not even close to the level of my shadow. And that's why people are being so easily fooled, because they see the power of the devil, but it's really just a shadow of what I have. This leader will be 30 years of age, the time of the rebellion. Let me see, when was that? 9 years ago? About to be 4 years. That was 10 years ago exactly. That's when the eclipses started happening. Exactly 10 years ago, because I'm about to be 40 this August 7th. And that's why they were like, you are not yet 40. When they were talking about Jesus in the Bible, they were like, you're not yet 40. I guess when you get to 40, that's when shit really starts to come together. For some reason, when I was in psychology class and I got an A in that, because I wanted to figure out how to undo the damage my dad did to me, because he's been doing damage to us since we were little kids, and all kinds of stuff. Mostly psychological, even more than spiritual when we came back, because he couldn't do shit about me when I came back. I was a teenager at that point. But like my teacher asked us about, like, when do we think this is and that, and in essence I told her at the age 30, and she asked me why, because she understood I was like kind of a prodigy, because I just got every answer right, because I was actually interested in the class. And even though my attendance was really bad, the same thing in art. When I was in art class, my art teacher loved me. Obviously, if I create the world, I'm a good artist, you know. I'm left-handed too. And both of them love me, but I told her 30 because I was like, I think I'll have my everything together by then. I did to a degree by 30, but not like I do now. Like now I feel like I really have everything together for the most part, and I'd be a perfect leader. Like I'd be a perfect leader now. When I was younger, I'd be an okay leader, better than 99.99999% of people, probably everybody. But I still wasn't perfected in my eyes. Like there was still a lot of stuff I didn't know. I thought the earth was flat, for God's sake, you know what I mean? Like there was a lot of things I didn't understand back then, and I'm happy that I've had the time to figure it out and all that. But so when I do lead, when I truly do lead, and people give me that position, if ever, in this lifetime, you know, obviously the people in heaven look at me a leader, but these people on earth, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with them. They obviously are part of the devil's plan. And it's just like in Darksiders, when when the eldest of the riders, which I call Boots the Constellation, with the sharp sickles, the son of man basically, when he was walking around the shattered earth, all the people were like zombies. That's what y'all are, and y'all don't even know it. Like, and they were coming against him, like he had to fight against them, and even the angels were against him. He was basically all by himself for the most part. And that's just how it's been. You know, these so-called Christians, these so-called angels, were really just corrupted. And it's like they wanted me to take them out. It's just like y'all been basically asking me to take y'all out. That's what he ended up having to do, is take them out and give them mercy killings. Sometimes I think that's what I need to do. But yeah. Oh, a whole nother story, but at the right time, when I was 30, yeah, that's when the blood moon tetrad started happening, exactly 10 years ago. And this is like marking it out again in another way. But it was really the year before that started, the 11 years ago, 2013, April 13th. But before, earlier in that month, on one of the days of the eclipses, when I'm pretty sure God made his home with me. I don't remember exactly what day, because that's why they got rid of my old page. I can't remember, it's been so long what day it was. They got rid of that page. I had all that stuff on that page, and a lot of other cool stuff that they got rid of. 30 years at the time of the rebellion. I'm sure she's saying that because of the Bible, but that's how this works. Remember, it kept telling me to return to source. The first time I heard that, remember what happened? I started to read the Bible. I started to manifest reality and all this stuff. And so that was because that was the only source I knew. Fortunately, my grandma did take me to congregations and stuff like that when I was younger. So I knew about Jesus and I liked him. He seemed like a cool guy. I wanted to believe in him. And why would I want to believe in Satan? People that Satanists, anybody that's a Satanist, which are usually white people, no offense, but yeah, a lot of you guys are Satanists. I mean, look at the KKK. You guys are Satanists, like most of y'all. And that's why they call y'all angry people and fakers, pretenders. You guys are the Gutians. And that's why they said you're unforgivable. And how you don't know how to revere gods or respect them. Instead, you destroy the temples and you do all this evil stuff, and you're Satanists. You sit there in the Catholic Church in the Vatican and worship Lucifer, the devil. Like you worship the devil. That's what y'all do. Because you're backwards. You're obviously the devil's people. Like you'll never see hardly any black people do that. You might see a few black people doing voodoo, but their voodoo is really witchcraft, and the witchcraft is really a type of nature spirit thing where they get in contact with spirits and they have the spirits protect them, or if they have an enemy, they'll have the spirit attack them. It's basically like they're using it for their own gain. But you Satanists are different. Satan doesn't help you. He just kills people. He just ruins shit. The help he gives you is really poison. Like, it's worse than voodoo. Like, most people in those countries are probably Christians or something like that. Like, it's a big Christian population in Africa or in Muslim and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, you see 30 years at rebellion, a sole person capable of receiving the energy and using the power of the third eye. Econs. I want to learn what that name means. I know it has to do with the eye, like the eyeball. Icons, second in command. 24 years old, 6'2". That's funny because exactly my height and my weight. But Icon's actually 6'3" according to her story, so he's like an inch taller than me. He's Stephen Curry's height, like the Joker. It doesn't surprise me because she wrote this book when my brother was around and probably thought he was the Messiah, but he isn't. I am. And it doesn't surprise me. A lot of people got fooled by him, I can tell. Like I told you, they put Stephen Curry there for a reason. I'm telling you, they put Stephen Curry there for a reason. It was to mock me. Like, he looks identical to my brother. Like, And then his mother looks just like my mother. His dad doesn't look like my dad, but anyways, and weighs 200 pounds, muscle bound. This is exactly I thought this was Icon. I was wondering why she had two different descriptions of him. Because Icon, like I said, is 6'3" and he's skinny. He's like Curry. He's just like Curry. Sometimes I wonder if they abducted my brother and then made him Stephen Curry. This Matrix is so fake, bro. It's unbelievable, bro. Like, imagine the best player, arguably ever, looks identical to your brother and all this shit at the same time. Not like he's some guy from the past, like Wilt Chamberlain. No, he's the nigga right now. You know what I mean? Like, now that my brother's gone, what has happened to Stephen Curry's career? It's gone down, hasn't it? Exactly. You see how they went hand in hand? Like, I'm telling you, they was trying to mock me, bro. And simultaneously, the guy that's basically symbolic of me, Kyrie Irving, who, when I was a flat earther, he was a flat earther. He's this religious guy. He's ambidextrous, but he started out left-handed like me. He knows he unlocked his whole brain. He's the black sheep of the NBA. Everybody's hating on him just like they hate on me. Like, I relate much more to him. And weighs 200 labs, muscle bound, bald. I'm not bald though. I guess that's the One Punch Man part. He's got the piercing eyes, though. That's me again. Yep. And the earring. Yeah, I had one earring piercing. Yep. This is so accurate to me. Well, at first I was like, I guess maybe I'm just his second in command. Oh man. Anyway, so weighs 200 pounds, piercing eyes. Just kidding. That'll fuck you up sometimes. I've learned not to take these things literally that I come across. I look at it and I see what matches and what doesn't, and I go with that. But I do pay attention to what doesn't match, just in case I'm mistaken. You see what I mean? Like, in some ways I am second, because Jesus is like, if it wasn't for Jesus, I don't know what I'd be doing. For example, the Holy Spirit, which is basically me, the Father, and all that, manifested. That's how he got me to manifest, was commanding me to come. He said, receive my spirit. How am I going to receive the spirit except for I manifest, you see? And that's why we're the two witnesses. That's why he started calling himself the Son of Man instead of Son of God. You see? He was setting it up for me. I basically sent him projecting all that stuff. And, they did evil things to him, obviously. And I learned from it, It saved me a lot of trouble. Because if I had done that, I wouldn't have got shit done. Piercing eyes. He has cold logic. And like he said, he died to spread the power. Because after he did that, the power was spread. It wasn't just stuck between me and him. He did that to spread it and make it a part of our world. And so we could resonate it. And it's a lot to it. But when he commanded me to come, that was a big factor too. And that's why I said, give me the glory we had before the world was. He's talking about the infinite power. That's why it says, in the beginning was the Word. The beginning is the Father. That's the one that I'm a manifestation of. Like, I can't hold a candle to that guy. That guy is absolutely powerful. He's scary. That's the power I'm using. It's his power, basically. But it's mine at the same time. You see? That's why it says the Son of Man was sealed to the end of time. You see? Was Jesus sealed to the end of time? No. He already been came. No, it was me that was sealed to the end of time. But y'all are too stupid to get that. Because y'all want this guy, this hippie guy that y'all believe in, this guy that y'all think is come to be, Mr. Ass Kisser for y'all, and instead of somebody that's going to actually do what they're supposed to do and shit. And y'all just want to have everything for free. Like, y'all don't want to have to do shit. You want to have everything by grace. You don't want to have to do shit. But at the same time, you want to say you're me. You want to say you're God. You want to say you're the two witnesses. Did you have to go through the hell I've gone through? Did you have internal bleeding in your heart? Did you die twice already? I'd already died twice in this lifetime and came right back. I died with my heart. It had internal bleeding. Came back. I died when I was in Crofton. Oh, I gave it away now. The white neighborhood or whatever, and the fuckers were sabotaging me. And they took my paintball gun, and I jumped through the window to get my stuff because I didn't know we were getting evicted. So my mom set me up. They had broke my window to steal my shit. That's how rich I was. White boy was breaking into my house. My mom was spoiling us, bro. And then as much money as she was making, when she got on drugs, she couldn't afford both. And she was gone all the time and shit, like. And then white boy broke into my house to take my paintball gun. That's the kind of shit we had. We had a hockey table. We had man. I had this big boom box. I had the big TV, futon, chair, bed, all that. Cat, and the cat fucked everything up. I know it because that's when everything started going downhill. That cat brought the demons, man. The cat brought the goddamn demons because cats are full of parasites, and the most disgusting parasites, man. That people are very susceptible to. I swear that's where things went wrong. Like the goddamn cat, man. And then the cat shit all over the place, put parasites all over the place, and then just fled the house. Anyways, and my mom and them didn't clean it up. Like, and I was young, and but anyway, so I could have cleaned it, but I was kind of young and dumb. Didn't really even think about doing that. I was just expecting my mom to do it, but she just kind of stopped being a mom and became a crackhead, basically. Yep. Drugs ruined my paradise in the nice neighborhood. Brought me back to this hellhole, my family. The rich here, man, that money don't mean nothing. I mean, that money don't mean nothing. I'd rather be in a poorhouse with somebody that treats me good and makes me smile and gives me the spirit and stuff like that. Piercing eyes, Khan's best friend. He has cold logic and 3 abilities. I wonder what his abilities are. Because he kind of sounds like me. I don't know. He Khan's best friend. He loves him more than 5 other members. 5'10", weighs 155 pounds. Kadao, like Keanu. Kadao, moderately built with warm brown eyes, just like mine. Has 2 abilities, like the 2 witnesses. 21 years old, 7'7", and he's my height. Like right now, it's funny because he weighs just as much as Ekal, basically the son of God in this story. He weighs just as much as him. I've never really weighed 180 since I've been fully grown. I've always been around 190 to 200. Never really around 180. I'd have to be like not holding any muscle to be 180 probably. Either that or I'd lose every ounce of fat maybe. He's well built with medium length hair, strong features, one ability, a good decision maker. It sounds like they divided all my powers up into his crew. They always do this, bro. Why can't anybody do anything besides me, bro? Why is it always me? This is just me, bro. The good decision maker. Nah, that's me. That's all me. Like every single one of these people, bro. Yep, been the nervous one before. Never felt like nervous until I came back here. Like I said, like my dad, that negative energy he was putting on me, that made me feel nervous for the first time ever. Because it went from abusive physically, because he couldn't beat me up anymore, to this spiritual shit, where you put this shakiness, like I told you, this gibberish on me, like this nervousness, this nerve attack. What are the odds of that? And then I'm 23 years old, 24. I wasn't no 6'4". I sure as hell don't weigh. Well, I've been to 230. That's crazy. I just realized that. Yeah. That's exactly what my weight was recently when I was drinking and I was lifting. I mean, even when I stopped lifting, I was just stuck around 230 for the longest. When I stopped drinking and smoking, because I usually do them together, if I'm not doing one, I usually don't do the other. So I lost, I'm back down to 222. It was the beer. The beer was just like making me hold weight. It didn't matter if I fasted. Man, that's crazy. Kev, hard looking. Kev, this is literally the friend I was living with. The one that I saw in the dream that was telling me the world that I was in is a sellout world. Everybody there is a sellout. Like the cuckoo birds. Remember, they were afraid of the cuckoo birds, so they didn't speak up against the cuckoo birds. It was like that world. His name is Kevin. He's one of my best friends when I left and came back. He's really my brother's friend, though. That's so crazy. Hard look, extremely well built. And I mean, he is fit. Raw and primitive. Mohawked hairdo. He's not very big, though. He's a short guy. Yeah, he's very passive in nature. You see that? Passive in nature? What does it mean to bow down to the cuckoo bird? It means you're passive, right? And my friend Kevin is very passive. He's really my brother's friend, but I know him through my brother. My brother's been always very popular. Like, I seen it in dreams. Like, he always has friends. Like, he's very popular. But he usually be around the wrong people. And then, not always, but sometimes, a lot of times he actually is real good at picking people. He's really good at picking friends sometimes. I don't know why. Like, he just is. Even though he's not that great of a person, but. And, yeah, it's really cool. Passive nature. I used to get mad at my mom, though, because she would always enable him. And he was coming against me, and I was telling her, why are you enabling him, bro? And not helping me? Like, I found out she was spending all his money on him. Like giving him all this money to buy more beer and kill himself. And then give him all this other shit on top of that. Like, I think it was like $600 every month. And literally, I couldn't get money from her to save my life, almost. Because it's just like in Darksiders. Lilith is the mother of the four riders. Lilith is their mother. And my mom told me straight up she's one of them. She was like, how do you stop being a tear? And I was, you know, I didn't know what to say back then, really. I was like, do good things, you know, basic shit like that. Tell her to do good. And, like, I remember my brother asked me, how are you saving the world or something? Or how do you do better in life or something? And I told him, I helped the world by being happy. Because I understood it back then. I was in that zone, you know. And he was really trying to throw me out of that. And he laughed. I was like, you really don't understand how it resonates, do you? Because he's never seen the rapture. He's never done any of that, you know? And it's true. If you're happy, it helps everybody else. If you're happy, it resonates to other people. Because we all have atoms in us. Everything's made out of atoms. That's what interconnects everything. Everything. It ain't got nothing to do with genomes. That makes it even more connected. But it's really about the atomic level. We're all interconnected at the atomic level. We're all made out of electrons. We're all made of protons, nucleuses, etc., you know? It's not complicated. That's how everything's one. That's why they call them atoms. Like Adam, you know, like Adam and Eve. Remember Adam? Oh. Alright, so last, remember, okay, never mind. He goes along with whatever is decided to a certain extent. Yeah, that sounds exactly like him. He keeps to himself. Yep, but doesn't miss a thing. He doesn't have any abilities. Yeah, that sounds about right. This just reminds me of my friend Kevin. That's probably, I lived him when I got restrained from the house. I ended up living with him for a little while. And I remember when I was there, he lives at 432 a certain road. You know, I'm not going to tell you what road, but it's 432, like, you know, the frequency of love. And I swear, when I was at his house, I had the craziest dream I've ever had. Like, literally ever. I don't know about ever, but I've had some crazy ass dreams. But it was at the highest echelon of dreams you could ever have, where I could see this other guy's house that this guy used to be a big fan of my dad. I stayed at his house a few times, a few days before he ended up selling the house, ironically. What a coincidence, right? And once again, a baby boomer that left nothing for his kids because he didn't have kids. These guys literally just living off their parents. These baby boomers are so privileged. But they were about to sell the house, and I stayed there for a few days before I went to go film my Kevin. And this guy was playing his music, man. He was the biggest fan of my dad. He used to talk so highly about my dad. Even though my dad can't fight for shit compared to me, my dad, he's a fighter compared to regular people. He couldn't do shit to me though. But regular people, he beat most regular people. Because that guy, he used to tell me that people at the school would try and start shit with my dad, and then my dad would fight them all by himself. That's one thing my dad got, probably more than me, is bravery. Sometimes I think my dad is more brave than me. But at the same time, not really. Because I seen fear in his eyes when me and him got into it before. Because he'd be coming out here fucking with me and shit. And then he tried to hit me with this damn cane. And I dodged it, of course, because I'm Neo, you know. I dodged shit like you wouldn't even believe. I dodged that shit, he hit the air. Like I told you, I make these niggas hit the air. Whiffed. Remember I told you about the whiff miss? Like Christmas? He gave me a free gift. He hit the air, gave me a free gift. I could have killed him right there if I wanted. Because he swung so hard. And because he's not a warrior like me, like not a real warrior, like a trained elite level God tier fighter like I am. Most people are nowhere near that. Most people are brawlers and trash. Like that's what you're going to see on the TV is trash ass fighters that brawl. They don't know how to fight. Mayweather was like 25% of what I do. 25 fucking percent. And he's not as gifted as I am. He doesn't hit hard. He can't take a punch. Like I would destroy Floyd Mayweather. He's happy he's not a heavyweight. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Cause he'd be slow as shit and he wouldn't be able to get away with that dumb stuff he does. I was gonna say Oh yeah, he just swung. He swung so hard he flipped around and fell down. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm about to get you. I'm about to get you. And he looked so scared, man. He was so scared, man. So I can't say he's braver than me. Well, I'll say he's braver than me in the fact that he was willing to fight those two people. Me, when I was young, I did not want to fight more than one person. You know what I mean? I would just run, you know, or just like try not to make him angry, because I knew if I made him angry, I'd get a worse ass whooping, you know. So like that happened to me one time. Usually I would, like, this one guy talked shit about me. He was only one guy and he's bigger than me. So I jumped on his back and bit his ear, just like Mike Tyson. I'm pretty sure that was interrelated. And I don't know, I bit him somewhere. I'm pretty sure I don't know if it was the ear, but I bit him and shit and choked him at the same time. Because I used to beat people by just choking them, putting them in a headlock and beat them that way. Until somebody slipped out one time in a foster home. When I was in the foster home, there was one of the kids there. He slipped out and punched me. And I was like, oh shit, punches work. And after that, I started using punches. But I grew up wrestling. That's why if I was to go to the MMA, the only issue I have is leg kicks. I don't want niggas kicking me in my knees, bro. I don't want kicking me in my knees. I don't want kicking me in my shin. I don't know why they allow that. Why do they allow that? Do they not care about the longevity of their athletes? All it takes is, if it was me, if I kick you on your knee is folding backwards, bro. It's not gonna be like these niggas like John Jones kick you in the knee and you just like, you walk it off. No, I kick you one time in your knee is gonna fold backwards, bro. Like, I only use that kind of shit when I'm in a fight I don't want to be in. Like this 300-pounder, he bum rushed me one time. He was another perp. Another one of the guys trying to take me out. And he bum rushed me. We were going around in circles. And I was going for his knees because I didn't want to fight. You know, this guy's a fucking freight train of muscle. 300 pounds of muscle. Bum rushed me. And big African dude. And I'm just like, not trying to fight him. Just like, he wants to fight me, I'm going to break his leg. And I was so out of practice, I missed his knees, man. I missed his fucking knees. I think I tried it like one time. I was going to try it again. But by the time we went in the circle of the court, like, it was like 4 courts and like 8 courts in one little area. And we was going all around him in a circle. I was going in circles to avoid him. And I should have made the circles tighter so I could see his friend coming. But I moved so fast, I really just didn't even notice we were going all the way around all those courts that quick. And by the time I was about to hit him again, attack him again, his friend, because I didn't want to be predictable. If I had just attacked again, that would have been predictable. I remember my friend, he used to tell me when I kicked at him, he was like, why don't you just keep kicking? I'm like, nigga, you don't think like I do, bro. I always think like, if I'm fighting myself, what would I do, you know? I'm not expecting to be fighting someone that's a bum, you know? Like, if you kick over and over and over again, what does that do? It makes it easy to grab the kick, right? And then, you know, once your leg is caught, you're off balance. Like, my friend don't know shit about fighting, bro. He's a good video game player, but he don't know shit about real life. So, like, I was gonna kick him again because it had been long enough to be unpredictable. And then his friend came and kicked me in my back because he knew what I was about to do. Because he's a fucking demon too. And this nigga like 300 fucking pounds too. Gonna kick me in my ass, bro. He kicked me so hard in my ass, bro. I'm telling you, I got that dent in my butt. I had that dent in my butt for years, bro. For years. It's probably still there. I haven't felt it in a long time. But I guess I healed up finally. But I'm telling you, I had a dent in my ass for the longest, bro. He kicked me so hard in my ass. He got me on one of the cheeks. And then I fell. And because I know Aikido, I did a back roll. And because I knew these niggas wasn't going to leave me alone, man. I've been jumped several times. Yeah, it's real, dog. They be trying to take me out, bro. Like, most people will never get jumped. And if they do, somebody going to break it up. They never break it up for me. Like, never. Like, I did a back roll. And And then when I was getting up, of course, I knew attacks were coming. So I put my shields up, and they were predictable as shit. They attacked exactly where I thought on both sides, like little bitches. I blocked all their attacks, and when I got to my feet, I was like, what's good now, you know? And then they started talking. They started wanting to talk instead of fight. Because the only reason he wanted to fight me is because he knew the other nigga would help him. You know? He's expecting to like grab a hold of me or something. He doesn't know if he grabs a hold of me, he's gonna get fucked up. Because I'm gonna poke him in his throat. I'm gonna poke him in his eyes. Because I know he's way heavier than me. So I'm not gonna like wrestle him regularly. I'm gonna try and break something. Like as soon as if he had tried to grab me, he was just like, oh man, if I just landed one punch. I was like, you did on my guard though, nigga. And that shit felt soft. That shit wouldn't even hurt. Nigga don't even know, bro. I've been hit. Like I remember this one time niggas like suckered me while I was going up for the shot. Just holding both of my arms. I got one of them loose to go for the rebound. And the nigga already stepped to him and told him, all right, you ready to fight? And he said, nah, I don't want to fight, you know, because he was talking all that shit like he wanted to fight. And when we went back to playing, I thought we were cool, whatever, but I could tell, like, this nigga was really trying, they were sent there to try and kill me. That's how I ended up in the hospital, and then they ended up putting ink into me, which is really metal, and it's just like cable. It ruined my powers and made it so I didn't heal instantly anymore. And that's how they started coming after me more powerfully, because it's just like Wolverine. You know, I had a super healing effect before that, but after that I didn't have that. It fucked it up to a degree. It really slowed it down. Wolverine would heal 10 times faster if it wasn't for that metal, and it's true. And it made me susceptible to things like Magneto, basically, like things where they use these attacks against me. These electromagnetic attacks. And this is a Metal Gear Solid thing too. They tried to assassinate him when he was at the hospital. That's what they were trying to do. They told me it was organic ink. Nah, that shit was metal. And they were trying to act like I had a concussion, but I didn't. Like I'll tell you what happened. For example, like I went up for the rebound, and I knew they were going to do this because they always try and injure me when I'm playing basketball because they can't do shit about me. So they always trying to injure me, but it's a demonic thing. They don't do this to nobody else. Like nigga, like this 300-pound nigga that I used to play with, he literally just threw his whole body weight back with his head right into my fucking teeth. I thought I had lost one of my teeth, but they were still there, and just bleeding. My lip was like got fucked up by my tooth going so far into it from the impact. This is the kind of shit they were doing. This one nigga landed on my ankle after I landed on my ankle wrong after I went for a rebound. I landed on it wrong, and then this nigga jumped on my ankle with all his weight. He did not shift his weight. He didn't shift it at all, and my ankle was already tweaked. And this nigga made it so much worse. He made it 10 times worse. When I tweaked my ankle, I shifted my weight. You know what I mean? I shifted my weight so it wouldn't be worse. But this nigga, he basically held me there, held my weight still, and fucking held his weight on top of it. When he landed, you know how much that fucked my ankle up, bro? Like, that's the first time I really got my ankle really, really fucked up. Other times it wasn't that bad. I really probably should get a surgery to get that shit fixed. I mean, imagine how fast I would be if my ankle was normal, bro. If I'm already this fast, imagine my ankle was normal. Oh my God. These niggas, they was so jealous of me because they're slow little midget people and shit. And they can't play no defense or anything like. So after that, I knew they were trying to get me. Because he smiled. When I was sitting there yelling, like crying, not crying, but screaming in pain, I was like, ah. This nigga smiled at me. I looked at this nigga. He was smiling. He was like, mission accomplished. He was like, I fucked this dude's ankle up. Like, this little motherfucker. That's one of the few people I wish would die, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Right? There's certain people that need to die, bro. Someone that's do something like that and then smile at you about it, not feel the slightest bit bad about it. Like, the nigga did it intentionally, bro. I'm telling you, he did it intentionally. After all those attempts to take me out on the court, I was like, Okay, I'll just act like it's a fight. I'll just act like it's a fight. I'll come there and I'll be prepared for that shit. That way they can't injure me. But I already thought ahead. I was like, I know what's going to happen. The only way they could get me is while I'm busy. While I got my hands out, extended, going to get for a rebound. Or for something, you know? But the thing that I thought of was the rebound. And that's exactly what they did. They couldn't get me. So they hired these guys that had just got out of jail. They allowed him out of jail just to come after me. It was a hit. It was an attempt on my life. That's why Hit in Dragon Ball Z Super, the guy that tried to assassinate Goku, his name was Hit. That's the exact same time this happened to me. That's when Hit popped up. It's not a coincidence, bro. It's the exact. It was. They were trying to assassinate me, and then I'll tell you why. Like when I went up for the rebound, like this guy's talking shit about me for nothing, bro. And then it led to all this shit, and then I go for the rebound while one's holding my left arm, and I go up for the rebound with my right. Then I see the pussy. I see his punch coming from the corner of my eye. He threw a punch while I was going up for the fucking rebound. That's the kind of pussy he is, bro. And that let me know this is planned, man. This shit was planned, bro. Like, who the fuck does that except for somebody that is planning this shit? And it's strategic, very strategic, not like a normal person would think. Most people do not understand to attack you while you're busy. They don't understand that. Maybe while your back is turned, but not while you're going up for a rebound. I thought, like, that is high level strategy, man. That was that was not a regular person. That was a demon. It was a fucking demon. And then when he hit me, it wasn't like a normal attack. He hit me. Everything went like, and then the other guy immediately hit me on the back like they were one person. Remember how I told you these demons? They'll pretend like they're multiple people. They're not just one person. These one demon or devil or fallen angel will be multiple people, just like Agent Smith. It was Agent Smith coming after me again, bro. And I've had this happen several times, bro. This is the worst one. This is the first one. The one that I did not see coming, but I did. I thought it would be like more like maybe one hit, you know, like some guy that just, you know, mad at me playing basketball or something. But nah, these niggas like had nothing really against me, but basically tried to kill me. Do you know how many times I got hit? Like, it went black. Then, like, the first guy hit me on my chin to stun me. Then the other guy hit me on my back, on my visual cortex, and it made everything go black. And then I was still conscious. I was totally conscious. I felt every hit. I felt every single hit. And they thought I was unconscious, so they thought they were slick. But I realized I was getting hit extremely quick. Faster than a human could hit. Faster than a goddamn human could hit. And I used to wonder why these people at this particular court, not the one where they tried to injure me, they were in on it too. But this is at another court, a street court. I was wondering why these guys always would try and like conspire against me when we were playing. It was because they were all these fucking demons. Like, I was wondering what the fuck that was about. The only reason I know this is because of this. When I was out, I was getting hit all these times, right? I didn't feel myself fall and hit my side of my head. I didn't feel like any like kind of fall. I just felt like I was getting hit mostly in the front. The other guy that was behind me didn't hit me much. He only hit me that one time. The other guy was doing most of the hitting. I could feel it. But mostly coming from the front. Probably about 20, 30 hits or something like that. I don't know. And really fast. Like really fast. And then next thing I know, I come back to, and I'm on my feet still. I'm still on my fucking feet somehow. But it was like all those hits registered at once or some shit. And then next thing I know, I'm way back here. Like way back. Like I don't know, maybe 40 feet. Like, no, not 40, but like 30 feet back from where I started. Away from where I started. And that's because of all the hits. I somehow stayed on my feet the whole time. And then I was looking for them. Because I was still thinking I was under attack. So I looked around for them. Because it was like there was no loss of consciousness. Like I knew I was under attack. So I was looking for them to fight, right? And I was like, finally, my turn. Now I get to beat the shit out of them. I was thinking I'm gonna beat the shit out of these dudes, bro. And then they were gone. They were already running. They were already running all the way by the exit of the court, all the way like a couple hundred feet, like almost 100 yards. And I was like, whoa, really? What the fuck? And I was like, okay, whatever. And everybody was still where I started. Everybody that was at the court, nobody broke it up. Nobody broke it up, bro. Like, how the hell I get hit that many damn times? Everybody else, something happens, they break it up. Me, nope. They just watch, because they're all in on it, bro. Like, it was for, what was it, like? And then the reason I know they're lying is because they couldn't tell me what happened. They didn't have one story. They had like 5 different stories. One of them told me I fell, and then they kicked me in the back of my head, and I got back up, and they started hitting me some more, and then I got up again, and I went back over by the pole, but they had a little kid with them, and then they said I fell on the little kid, and then they said they hit me some more, and I'm like, how the fuck did I get all the way back here then? None of them explained that shit. How the fuck I got way back all the way over there, the opposite direction of the pole. When they told me I ended up on the pole by the little kid, that shit, I knew they were lying. I knew they were fucking lying, because somebody else told something even different. Like, these devils don't know how to tell the fucking, like, make it make sense, because they can't tell the truth. The truth makes sense, you know what I mean? So, like, when they tell you a lie, it's not going to make sense, you know what I mean? So you can see through it. Like, nobody could explain how I ended up all the way back over there, and why nobody was nearby me. It was like it all happened in an instant, like a demonic attack. Like, every single one of them were attacking me, and then I psychically teleported over there. That's what it felt like. Like I was getting attacked by all of them. That's what it looked like. It looked like they were all surrounding where I started, and they were all attacking me. That's why nobody helped me, because they were all fucking attacking me. And then I teleported. That's what it looked like. I ain't gonna lie. Either that, or I was out and they hit me, but I stayed conscious somehow, and I fell back. Because there's no way I went over to that pole. There's no way that I went from that pole all the way back over there, and nobody's near me. Nobody's like, hey, how are you doing? Like, you know what I mean? They're all just sitting where I started in a circle, looking surprised as shit. And like one of them was like, hey, you need to go to the hospital. I was like, why? He was like, your cheek, you're bleeding. Like my cheek, I have really sharp canines, almost like a vampire. I have really sharp canines on, not anymore, I've gotten older, but I have really sharp canines, and when they were hitting me, my tooth went through my cheek. My tooth literally went through my cheek, bro. And this is what I mean by, like, they be trying to get me, bro. And then I went to they couldn't finish me right there, so what they did was I walked over to the fire department. Yeah, I just walked there, and because I was perfectly fine. I wasn't hurt. They had hit me a lot of times, but the only damage I had was my tooth went through my mouth. I mean, my cheek went right through it, and I didn't feel any pain. And then, there wasn't no problems. I had a little bit of pain maybe. And then I went to the fire department. I was like, I need to go to the hospital. And so they gave me a ride to the hospital. And when I was at the hospital, that's when they tried to finish me off, just like in Metal Gear Solid, when Phantom Pain. In the beginning of that's when all this happened. He started his adventure in the hospital. And that's right when I started talking to y'all about the stuff that was in that game, about the Skynet creatures and the digital biology stuff and all that they sure as hell didn't want me to talk to y'all about. That's the whole reason they tried to kill me that day. It's just like that. Whenever I'm about to do something, they try and stop me, either before it or after. And so I was in the hospital, and they tried to say I had a concussion. And I was like, nigga, who the fuck are y'all? Y'all not my nurse. the fuck are y'all? They was like, we study. They didn't say I had a concussion. They said they study people with concussions. I was like, I don't have a concussion. My x-rays came back all negative. I'm perfectly fine. And I wasn't in any pain at this point. My pain was gone. They gave me a little bit of painkillers, and that was it. That's all I needed. And stitches. And I was just waiting to go. And I was like, I had just saw the Terminator movie. I saw the Terminator movie where John Connor, he was turned into a Terminator. It was either just then or after. It was related because, so like they wanted me to do an MRI, even though I didn't have brain damage. What they were doing was they was trying to get the metal into me. That's what they were trying to do. They lied to me. They said it was organic. The ink is not organic. Don't ever use the fucking ink. Just get the regular MRI if you're gonna get one. Do not use the ink. It will fuck you up. It's just like Cable. When they put that metal on him, it fucked him up, man. That's what happened to me. It really nerfed me, man. It nerfed me so bad. More than anything I've ever experienced in my life. More than getting beat up that day. The fucking metal fucked me up. And that's why they tried to do that with the vaccines. They noticed how effective it was to me, against me. And so they wanted to use it against y'all. And that's why they wanted the MRI to try and graft out my brain and stuff. And guess what? I wanted that too. I wanted the MRI for that very reason. I knew even though I just got fucked up, my brain would be functioning like nobody else's, right? So I was like, that's why I wanted the MRI too. I was like, you know what? I know I ain't had no concussion, but let me get the MRI so I can see what's going on in my brain. Y'all gonna be amazed. And then guess what? These niggas wasn't no official agency. They wasn't official. You know what they did? They gave me the ink. We used the place. It was just like Quiet. Remember that in Metal Gear Solid how there was that girl called Quiet. And that's why the virus in that game is just like the COVID virus and all this stuff. It's a parasite. That's what it's mostly related to, and all this other stuff I've already explained. So that's how that all interconnected. Like I told you, it was because of that happening that they ended up causing doing COVID, because they figured they could maybe harm me some more with it, more metal, or maybe, you know, to harm some of y'all. Maybe they wanted to harm y'all too. And and that's Quiet. Remember, Quiet tried to kill him first when he was in the hospital. She first tried to kill him, and the girl, one of them looked like kind of like Quiet. She was one of them was a black chick. She was really kind of ugly and big and kind of manly, like the Big Shirley type. And the other one, she was like a white woman, kind of like Quiet. Not really like Quiet though. She didn't look like Quiet, but she was a white woman, and she was kind of petite like Quiet, but she wasn't. And that's like, I just look at them two as like basically being Quiet, that character trying to kill me, man. She first tried to kill the Phantom Pain guy. It's not Solid Snake. It's another one of them, his clones or something like that. No, it wasn't him. It was the other guy. It's one of his subordinates that they ended up trying to make. He's like a fake big boss, like. And the difference between the old me is I did things out in the open, but the real me now is like big boss. You know, that's the new phase I'm in. I do things kind of in secret. Instead of being like the fake big boss, I'm like the real one now. You know? And there was a real one and a fake one. The real one stays in the shadows, utilizing the Solid Snake and the other clones and all the other heroes in Metal Gear Solid, while he's really behind it all and stuff. Yeah, I'm the real big boss or whatever, but it's so funny. Anyway, so that's a whole nother story. Like, goddamn, I got it all off track. Now I gotta check how much hard drive space again I keep calling it a hard drive, but it's an SD. And it's just so interconnected, man. They've been after me my whole life, bro. Then like the other time I got to jump. Oh yeah, I forgot. When they did the MRI, this is how I know they weren't official. They said I could get a copy, And guess what? I went to the hospital to try and talk about this. And the hospital where they told me to go, it was a fake out, bro. They just ran away, bro. I couldn't get my MRI. I couldn't get a hold of them. They never gave me my MRI. They never gave me the scan. They were there just to put the fucking metal in me and get a scan of my brain so that they could learn from it and not let me learn shit. That's what they did. They didn't let me get a copy of it. What the fuck kind of doctor does that, where they scan you and do all that shit and don't let you see it? These niggas was something else, bro. They was a whole nother agency coming there. How the fuck, what are the odds of somebody like that being there when I go there? Just so happen to be there. They're not a part of the hospital, though. They're not a part of the fucking hospital. They were trying to kill me, bro. They was trying to weaken me, at the same time get a good image of my brain so they could learn from me. They was studying me at the same time trying to fuck me up. Like when that ink got into me, and they put it in my left side too, so it'd be even more fucked up to try and to mess up my heart. They was trying to kill me, bro. That's why this COVID thing attacks the heart. Like they was trying to kill me, bro. It was the metal in my heart to make it so, like, you got metal in your heart. Just imagine you got metal in your fucking heart, bro. You know, in your heart. You know, have you ever had a metal heart before? Not very good. Don't get the goddamn MRI. I mean, if you do get an MRI, nothing wrong with the MRI. I like the way it felt, actually. It felt like it was getting rid of something negative inside of me. But the ink was the problem, man. I'm trying to tell you, that was the problem. As soon as I felt it go in my body, I knew something was wrong. I just knew it. And then next thing I know, my body, my pain all came back. All the pain that was gone, it came back. I swelled up. I couldn't heal like I could before. You know? They was trying to make sure I go down, man. Like it's pathetic, bro. This world is absolutely rigged. Alright, so Life's just strong character and good advisor. Let me just continue. Actually, let me check this. I'm gonna start a new part. I think I talked enough. I'm gonna try and focus on getting this done.